Hey, great grand rising to everyone. But anyway, in the background, you can see the great Rockies that go all the way down through the Americas, North America, all the way up into Canada. And you hear that and see that from the chemtrails that they're spraying out there, as you can see that, right? You can barely see anything, but when the chemtrails aren't out there at a location undisclosed as of right now, you can see the Rocky Mountains pretty good. So, I just wanted to say great grand rising to everyone and Halito and making sure that everybody's doing okay. And I'm trying to get these out on a regular basis as those have been very difficult. I got back from work very late yesterday. And, before I knew it, it was about 10:30, 11 o'clock. And sometimes I work way out in the far distance where the reception is just horrible. So, forgive me for that one. But anyway, just wanted to get into this, how great we are doing as black people here in America. As we know, they've been reporting the unemployment rate is at an all-time low, 6.6. Amazing. Than any point in history. And I just need to clarify just a few things as we begin to start understanding the development of how the indigenous nation of North America is going to be affecting our real people of the indigenous Aboriginal people of the Americas. And 6.6, phenomenal number. When you go back historically, this number really only goes back to 1972. Right? And when you begin to start looking at the real numbers of between 1950s and the 1960s, our unemployment rate was much lower. And what they're really talking about is the unemployment rate ratio percentage between the overall unemployment rate and the unemployment rate of what they're recording for specific individual, what they would call racial groups. So understand that in the 50s and 60s, all the way into 70s, especially 1972, our unemployment rate amongst our people, the Aboriginal people, because we own mainly more of our own businesses, we were mainly taking care of our own selves, we were really doing business amongst each other because of all the racial discrimination and everything else that was going on back then, before they totally tried to integrate us into this worthless society that we're in right now, and in the system that is out there, the genocide, every single carbon-based person they can find here in North America. And that is absolutely the truth, unless you were selling your soul and giving up the rest of us for dead, right? So we're not. But anyway, the unemployment rate is a sham. As you remember, when Barack Obama was in office, the Republicans were always talking about how the formula for the unemployment rate was disastrous, it was untrue, based on a whole bunch of lies. But we're just going to go with what they're going with. So when we start talking about how we are doing as original indigenous beings, quote unquote, what they call us black beings or African American beings, conquered people here in the United States or in the system of the United States, are we really doing that well? Well, I'm here to tell you now, as the head of state of the indigenous nation of North America, our situation here, again, in North America remains as bleak as it has always remained. And this is the reason why we must rise up and become what we are meant to be. So we are at the bottom of the pool when it comes to the 6.6 unemployment rate. And I'll give you some very statistics that is actually from Bloomberg, Fox News, and a few other different places that we have. So as we look at it, the Hispanics, and now Hispanics means that they aren't really Spaniards. They are a mixture of people that were created from those so-called Europeans that came over here and combined themselves with the American Indians and created the Hispanic race. So a lot of people, Hispanics out there, think that you got a real linkage over there to Spain. Well, again, think about it. I talk to Spaniards who are directly from Spain, and also talk to a lot of people that are from Hispanics, white Hispanics especially, and they got it all wrong. So Hispanics 4.8, we're at 6.6. This is how great we're doing. We got the white population who's at 2.7% unemployment rate, And the Asian Americans, the Asian Americans are 2.7%. Sorry about that. And the whites are 3.6%, and Hispanics are 4.8%. And again, we here doing so great as the president of the United States and so many other these politicians are just bragging about this unemployment rate are 6.6. Now, here it goes. Are you feeling the greatness of the United States and how they are and how this corporation is actually treating you and our people? Honestly, are you feeling this great thing? The thing is, again, is that they also tell you that when we begin to start looking at this unemployment rate, it's the type of jobs that you're getting as well, right? We're not being hired in the type of jobs that we should be being hired on. This is why this is going to change. And it's going to change in the indigenous nations of North America, because we are going to be able to do what is right for our own people. Take a walk with me just for a second as I just, kind of try to explain a few things in terms of what is actually really going on as we go out here into this little wilderness here, or plain land. We have to make sure that we understand that we, in medical situations, are at the bottom. Educationally, we're at the bottom. Our communities are at the bottom. When we talk about birth rates in terms of birth survival and birth mortality, we're at the bottom. Anytime that they say that we're doing good, just remember we're doing good at the bottom of everyone else. So is that really good for us, our people? And as the indigenous nations of North America, which is a representation for every single carbon-based being that is on North America, and as we begin to start the negotiations and the summits with a lot of these other larger nations that are are coming up or in fruition, that we're going to make sure that as we do these summits, we're going to be negotiating and doing what has to be done for you, the people. And we're going to make sure that when we begin to start building, because we have a major building project that we really do want to start by the end of this year, we want to put our people to work. We want to develop our industries, redevelop who we are before 1492. And this is what it's all about. So what's happening on this coming Monday in June, this coming Tuesday, June, next week, we're going to be having a summit that's going to be open to everybody. We're calling it the Indigenous Nations of North America community-wide, nationwide summit, so that you yourselves will be able to ask the head of state, myself, some of the other people who are part of the Congress, and hear what's going on with other chiefs and leaders all throughout this country. We're in desperate shape, right? Even though they say we're doing good, everything that they say is in reverse, because you're at the bottom when you actually should be at the top. And, here we are, and this is what we have. We'll start to have longer shows. I was trying to have a Dark Matter Radio presentation last night with one of the main leaders of the indigenous nations on Facebook. We'll get that going. We're having a lot of problems with Block Talk Radio, and this is the reason why, as soon as we do get the 500 members, we're going to be investing in our own selves, as we're going to be investing in our own country, investing in our own people, and making sure that we're going to be getting a platform that we're going to be able to do and survive on our own. We're going to get off of Facebook. We're going to get off of YouTube. We're going to create a whole entire network that is just for our people. And with your help, with your backing and the things that you do in terms of helping us bring this up, it's going to be very, very, very important, because they're going to see that it's coming from us. It's not coming from anybody else. There's a lot of groups out there that are not us, that are willing to help us. But as soon as you get help from somebody else, what happens is you become enamored with them. Not only enamored, but you become underneath their auspices, and you owe them something. I know this because I ran for a lot of political offices, sat in a lot of different meetings, won a lot of political offices as well. And you hear those people who voted for you, gave you money, whatever the situation is, then they want something from you. So we are not going to get anything and do anything that's going to be circumventing our sovereignty. And let me tell you, every single person in the indigenous nations of North America, I don't care who you are, where you are, is a sovereign being and is separate and apart from anything that they have given you in this North American union called the United States and their corporations and subsidiaries. So, Halito to everyone, great grand rising to everyone, and remember that the 6.6 great unemployment rate ain't so great at all. But you are great people. And I believe in you. I don't care what anybody else has to say, because I'm telling you, the more I talk to people, especially a lot of leadership, they have a lot of doubts that we're able to pull this off. But as we see the chemtrailers trying to hide the great mountains of the Rockies, they're trying to chemtrail us, bleach us out, and they're trying to destroy the message upon which we're given to the people. But behind the veil, it's the same thing, because the Rockies still stand. And behind us is a great universal presence that will make us stand and be great once again. Not only will we rule, not only will we be able to rise up and become who we are supposed to be, but we will, with your help, with all of your help, and us standing together, without selfishness, with much pride and thankfulness that we do have each other at this time in history, we will rise again, and we will rule once again as well. Great grand rising to everyone, and may you have a great, wonderful, blessed day. And may the universe give you everything that you need to be able to be successful today, as we begin the process of moving forward and doing what needs to be done. Keep smiling, no matter what goes on. Keep smiling, because you know deep down in your soul, there's good things coming. Bless everyone. I'm there for you. I'll never give up, never surrender, and I'll never sell my soul.